Alright guys, I'm sitting here in Washington, Warden, Washington to be exact, which is I guess about 15 miles south of Moses Lake. I've been here pretty much all morning now waiting for my load to get ready, but I came here a few weeks ago and I got here at 8 o'clock in the morning and they didn't have me out of here till 7, so I'm not too shocked that I'm still sitting here and not loaded, but I figured I'd go ahead and tell y'all that story, or the part 2 I told you I had coming. So as you can tell from my last video, I was having a little rough patch end of September, beginning of October, but after that I had a couple good weeks. So instead of, since my Peterbilt was broke down, one second. I think the alarm's going off here. Sorry about that. I don't know what that is, honestly. I think it has something to do with this clock, and the alarm set, I believe, but honestly I don't know yet. I'll have to look into it a little more. And this truck next to me just backed up a little bit, so now I've got the sun right here in my eye. But yeah, so the Peterbilt was in the shop, so I had to end up taking out the International for the next couple days, or next couple weeks, and there's nothing wrong with the International, but the problem is we were running teams, but I was also training him, so there was a lot of times where we got 2 people in the truck and only 1 bed, so I ended up having to like, if he was going to be driving next or first thing in the morning, because I preferred to drive at night and then let him drive during the day, just because, you know, getting used to that sleep schedule was a little more difficult at the beginning. So if he was going to be driving during the day, what I would do is I'd give him the bed at night, and I'd put my suitcase in between the front 2 seats, and I'd sleep across both of my seats, and I'd dodge the shifter, and I'd like lay my hip on the on my suitcase. So as you can tell, my sleep wasn't really great, but it got the job done, and luckily you only have to do that, you know, 1 or 2 times a trip. One, once you get unloaded and you're waiting the next morning to get your truck loaded, that was one time, and then we got stuck in a snowstorm in Wyoming for 2 days, and so that was like 2 days back to back, which was a little rough, but we made it through, so everything's going good. We did 2 more trips, then on the 3rd trip, which would be his 4th total, we make it all the way up to Washington. We're about a half a mile away from our stop in Woodinville. We get off the interstate, we take a right, you know, we go like a half a mile, and then we got to take another right. But when you take this right, it's like, it's a kind of sharp right, but once you take the right, the road curves over to the left. And he was driving, we took a right, he's looking in his mirror to make sure, you know, he doesn't do a repeat of what he did to that truck in Tennessee. And if y'all didn't watch that video, what he did was he came in, he looked in the mirror, he noticed that he was clearing the curve, and then somebody else was pulling out, so he swerved back over to the right before the trailer got around the curb, and he hit a brand new Freightliner Cascadia. So this time he's looking in the mirrors, because I told him he always needs to watch his mirrors, you know. Anytime you're doing anything in a truck, you need to watch all your mirrors. So we make that turn. I'm sitting in the passenger seat watching him. And I notice that he keeps looking in this mirror and he's not looking over here. And since, it's curving back to the left, I notice like he's still looking over here. So I'm like, watch your mirror. He's like, I am. And he keeps looking over there. I'm like, no, watch your mirror. And I start pointing. I'm like, and then at this time, I see that there's a car there, and he's just, I felt like he wasn't going to make it from where I was sitting, which, it's hard to judge your mirror. So it always looks close from over there, but I just had a feeling that it was a little too close. So I start telling him to stop, and, but I guess from me saying stop to him realizing the problem and then pressing the brakes, there's a few seconds delay. What ended up happening is it was a Dodge 1500, and he was parked there. He wasn't parked, he was sitting there waiting on the light to turn green. And as we turned left, from where pretty much the middle of the trailer where that turn signal is, that's where he started going on top of that truck. And he did it for about, I don't know, 5 feet. So that, yeah. So, and honestly, I know it sucks because he had just started. He was learning how to truck. He wasn't used to a trailer. So I know it sucked for him. But at the same time, watching your mirrors is really important, and I feel like, if you watch your mirrors, you can stop before anything bad happens and get yourself out of the situation. But we finished up that trip, and I had to let him go. So he did 4 trips with me, and then he actually went over to Celadon, and next thing you know, Celadon goes out of business, or bankrupt. So luckily he got out of that without any major problems or anything. But I have bad luck, and it looks like he's gonna have bad luck too, since he already, two minor crashes and a going to a company, and then all of a sudden they closing shop without even telling anybody. So that was the rest of that month, which, since that happened, I had to let him go. I got in no hurry for the Peterbilt, and I started thinking to myself, do I really want employees when I had one truck? And when I had one truck, it was nice, simple. I made really good money. I didn't have much headache. I kept up on my truck, the International. I put it in the shop every time I got home, and I had them fixed when I needed fixed, and I didn't worry about anything. Then I bought the second truck, the Peterbilt, which has cost me a lot of money, but I do feel like that Peterbilt is a nice truck. And I think if I fixed it now, it would run good for, a few 100,000 miles until something else needs replaced or whatever. But I got in no hurry to fix that. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my business and how I want to run it from now on. Because I used to have these grandiose ideas, like, I wanted a whole fleet of trucks, a whole fleet of drivers. And after thinking about it, I decided I don't think I really want that. I think I'd rather just, take the time off when I want the time off, not have to constantly worry about putting trucks in the shop, getting tow trucks, It was just way simpler, I feel like, with one truck. Obviously, things didn't work out with my first driver I hired. But after listening to other people and friends in the business, they'll talk about drivers abandoning trucks, or this happening, that happening, somebody wrecks over here and somebody does this over here, your truck keeps breaking down. And it really doesn't feel as good as I thought it used to sound, you know, making grossing a. I felt like if I could gross a lot of money, you know, it'd feel really cool. And I'm sure it would, but you look at these companies and they offer like 401ks, health benefits, you know, retirement, and they're still short on drivers. So it's like, how am I a owner operator with a couple trucks? How am I going to make get any people to work for me? You know, like, how can I keep good workers if they can't even keep workers or even find workers to do it? You know, so that was another thing. I've got the rental properties, like I've said before, so I could see myself buying maybe more of those, or maybe flipping houses in the future, or doing like a rent-to-own stuff for other people. I can see me doing that, but I don't see me hiring more people and starting a fleet. So I kind of went away from that, and that's why I haven't really been making videos or sharing what I'm doing in trucking right now, because it really was like a lot of thinking. I had to think about what I was going to do to move forward from this point, which, as you can tell in my background, I'm in a different truck right now. I'm not in my International or my Peterbilt. So with that being said, that pretty much finished off my negative spiral out of control there. So and then I moved on to something else, which I will probably share with you in the next video, and give you a big update on that. But I feel like 2020 is going to be the year. I think it's going to be a great year, and I just can't wait to get out here and make it happen. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, if you did enjoy it, go ahead and like it. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. That'd really help me out. And I'd love to hear some feedback in the comment section if you got anything to say. So thanks, and have a good day.